Can't believe this is the last time I'm going to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. It's EKB TV, and you're watching the Vintage Cigar. And this is the final top 10. The top 10 list to end all top 10 lists for the Vintage Cigar. So without further ado, let's get into this list. So the list today is going to be all about the top 10 moments from the Vintage Cigar. Since I retired the channel, it's going to be the last time I'm doing this. So I want to go through some good times, bad times, in between times to talk to you guys about the channel. Maybe this is some of your favorite moments, maybe not. You guys can always get down in the comments and let me know what you really think. So let's get into it. Number 10. Number 10 is the first episode. I mean, that's only apropos, right? But the reason why I'm doing this is because when I started the channel, I wanted to find a way to think outside the box, to be a little bit creative and to be different. I was doing impersonations of all the different channels that I was watching and things like that. So I did one of Cigars Daily. I don't think it went over very well, but who knows? Maybe Tim or someone else can tell you what they think about it. But we'll find out. But I had a good time with this one. So let's check this out really quick and see what y'all think.
Hey everybody, I'm Keelan and you're watching The Vintage Cigar. And today we're smoking the Tabernacle Havana Seed CT. Hey, smoke cigars with me today and you can even use the same journal that I use. How was that? Was it loud enough? Vikings, yeah!
That's the way I started it off. I really thought this was a fun thing to do. I really enjoyed just the creativity, and I love acting, and that'll come up a little bit later in this top 10. But that's this moment. Let's kind of go a little bit further. Number 9. Number 9 is the episode that actually blew the channel up, and I was strictly surprised at how this worked out. Most of you who would follow the channel know that I'm in Japan, and it was very hard for me to get cigars, especially when I actually started the channel because it was during COVID. Shipping, traveling, and all that kind of stuff, it was nearly impossible for me to get cigars. Like, how are you going to do a channel all about cigar reviews when you can't get cigars? It was frustrating. I was scouring the web. I was doing everything from spending tons of money trying to get Habanos, but I found a lot of great sites. So I had the idea, let me do a top 10 list that's all about the best websites. People could follow me and they could kind of follow the journey and they could figure out ways to get cigars. So check this out.
I want to chime in here to say that none of these companies sponsor me at all. I'm not paid for this. This is just me trying to help out viewers and trying to give you some different options on where to go. Again, I have not been sponsored.
Unless you're gonna do it.
You knew that was coming.
It's crazy to me that this is easily the highest viewed episode on the Vintage Cigar, period. I think it's getting close to like 20K or something like that. It's surreal to me, especially on such a small channel. But I'm glad you guys liked it. Everybody commented on it, and people are still watching it to this day. So that's kind of dope. Number 8. Number 8 for me is cigars that I never smoked. And just doing this episode is not highly viewed. But for me, it was probably one of the most fun episodes that I ever did. I just had fun with the editing and just talking about cigars that I would never smoke. And it's just kind of funny.
Diesel. This is one of those cigars that kind of gives me the willies every time I see him. I just kind of shit. I don't want any parts of that, man. It's like when, people used to wear those Ed Hardy t-shirts. You look at them, you're like, that's a douchebag right there. I'm not talking to that cat. Especially if you see somebody now with the Ed Hardy shirt and one of those Von Dutch hats or something. Like, dude, do you know what year it is?
I wish people would go back to this one. I know it's not the greatest quality, but this is hilarious to me. Like, I just had fun doing it. It's kind of negative, but I wanted to do it in a positive light. And I also did, some of my favorite cigars at that time too. So it was a good juxtaposition. You guys tell me what you think about it. Number 7 is the Crown Heads event only unboxing. This was the first time that a brand actually sent me a box. John Huber going out of his way to even recognize the channel and send out a box to me was a big deal to me at the time. It's still a big deal. I can't even lie to you.
I'm a genuine fan. I'm a genuine customer. He posted a picture of several of the cigars that are on his brand, and one that was a special release for event-only outings. Me being in Japan, there's no way that I'm gonna get to one of those outings. So I pulled a Steph Curry and I shot my shot. John Huber, being the guy that he is, actually responded to me just saying, hey, dude, can you send this cigar to me? I would love to try it out. He hit me back and was like, what's your address? That's dope.
Getting this and getting to smoke the blood medicine before I even knew what it was just a fun experience just to smoke that cigar and to get a box and get cool hats. Honestly, one of my favorite hats of all time came from John Huber. I love what he's doing over there. It's really cool. But this was just, it meant everything to the channel. So that's why this is kind of moving up on the list. Appreciate that, John. And a big shout out to Crown Heads. So many thanks. Number 6 is the Anemoy sickness. La Guerrera Anemoy. I don't get tobacco sickness or nicotine sickness very often. The irony to this is this is a cigar that I thoroughly enjoy. But watch this.
Compose yourself though, because once again, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for a light smoker at all. Gotta admit to you guys that I'm tapping out. Reached my limit. Very, very bold and rich cigar. Rich. That's really what I would say here. It's a very rich cigar. Don't get me wrong. This is fantastic, but this is my second cigar today, and I've reached my limit, just me personally. I highly recommend for those who like the richer, darker, full body cigars, this La Galera is exquisite. Shout out to you, Matt. You guys stay tuned. Keep smoking. I might.
Bro, I was out of my mind sick. I couldn't finish the cigar. I was enjoying the cigar, but like I don't know what happened with me being tired. I don't know if it was food. I can't tell you, but I was toast. You can see it. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious. Number 5 is the Padron debate. I got people upset with my opinions on Padron. I still hold this opinion. Padrons are not bad. But take a look at this.
Aside from the Arturo Fuente and Yeho series, they're a fraction of the cost. This is why this is my argument that the Padron is not really worth it. It's not worth paying that premium for a cigar that you can go out to a boutique brand or other heritage brands and get the same or better at a much better value. I'm not telling you guys not to smoke Padron and not to enjoy Padron. But I am saying you can go out here and buy a box and buy other cigars and get the same value or better at a much better cost.
You guys can let me know what you think about Padron. You guys can go into your details and your opinions on what you think about it. But I'll leave it there. I don't want to get in no more trouble. Or do I? Number 4 is the Red Meat Lovers episode. And I went out of my way to do this episode, buying Wagyu steak and setting up the grill, wine. It was probably one of the last shots that was on the rooftop. And you guys know this was my favorite spot. So just kind of take a look at the vibe here. What's really funny about all this is I couldn't even taste the cigar. Like all the Wagyu just kind of washed all the flavor out. But to me, it was just a good moment. It was fun editing this. It was fun eating Wagyu, drinking wine, and having a cigar. That's what this whole thing is all about, right? So shouts out to Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust for making a great cigar, making a great moment. The more I had this cigar after this, the more I enjoyed it too, by the way. Number 3. This was a trend with doing shorts. And, you know, of course I do whatever. So, I mean, me being me, I had to do of course I'm a cigar smoker, you know? So check this out. I'm a cigar smoker. Of course my wife lets me smoke cigars in the house.
She said I can't smoke in the house.
I had super fun recording this. And the thing about it is like the feedback that I got from all of you who watched the channel, people who had never seen the channel before, the comment section was just lit and it was off the hook. And this is probably one of the most fun things that I did on the Vintage Cigar. And I appreciate the feedback for y'all. But it gets even better. Number 2 is the lighter short. This is the thing that frustrated me, whether it was on Reddit or YouTube, group chats or whatever. Like everybody has their opinions on how you should light this cigar. Magazines, everybody's telling you should use this, that, or the third. It was just like, who's right? Everybody has an opinion on this. And if you listen to everybody, there's no way to actually get a good cigar smoke. Check this out.
Bro,
What?
is that a spill? What are you like, 50? What are those, matches? What are you like, 40?
Actually, yeah.
So my whole thing after this is just, is it fire? Does it light? Okay, then I can use it. But the feedback for this was great. I had fun doing this one. I had fun acting. I had fun just kind of portraying 2 different versions of myself. Let me know what you think. And the number 1 moment from the Vintage Cigar, in my opinion, seems like it's a lot of yours as well. I just traveled all over Japan. Just being here was one thing that set my channel apart from a lot of the channels out there. But I wanted to give everybody that watched the channel a taste of what I go through, riding the trains, the city, people, also what my cigar journey was like out here. And when I went to Shibuya, to the R261, I think that's the name of the cigar bar, it was just a cool vibe. Check this out.
This is a little looking for as far as drinks. They took care of us. They provided excellent service. They made the drinks in front of us. You can see it's a very skilled hand.
The feedback that I got from this was just overwhelming. And I wanted to do a lot more of that. I wanted to travel out in Fukuoka and other places, but it's just the way things went with the channel, it just wasn't meant to be. At least I got this moment just able to be recorded and for you guys to check it out. And the feedback that I got from this was cool. I think I got a lot of subscribers and a lot of viewership because I went out of my way to show you what my taste of Japan was like. I want you to always smoke your best cigars. And this is nothing but love from EKB and the Vintage Cigar. Y'all stay cool. Keep smoking your best. EKB is out. Wait. You thought you wasn't going to get the bandana? Come on now. You guys know me a lot better than that. Oh, and you also thought you weren't going to get a top 10 list of cigars? I can't go out like that. I didn't smoke a lot of cigars. You guys know I ended the channel and I was kind of falling back on smoking cigars and doing all that kind of stuff. But 2024 is a long year. So I had enough time to smoke a few cigars in that time. And I got some opinions. You want to hear it? Here you go. So I'm going to give you some of the worst, some of the best. And I'm going to be extremely controversial. I mean, it is your boy EKB, right? Let's get into this list. Number 20, starting at the bottom. One of the worst cigars that I had this year was the Cocheca 151. And this is kind of disappointing to me because I love the 146 and I love the 149. But if you guys follow the infamous podcast, if you followed this channel at all, you know those were cigars that I really love. But when I got the 151, I was highly let down. And that was extremely disappointing. So that's why it's at the bottom of the list. To continue with more disappointment was the Cinco de Cinco. I love Joya de Nicaragua. And I love the Cinco series and all that kind of stuff. And it's just it's a great just brand of cigars. But this cigar let me down so bad. And I just don't understand why this cigar was not as good as the previous iterations of this cigar. And I'm seeing some other reviews out there that are like really praising this cigar. You guys are out of your mind. Maybe I'll go back to this in a few years, but Number 18 is the Coroneta Maduro. Y'all know I love crown heads. I just finished praising crown heads, but I got to be real with you. This Maduro was a major, major letdown. The Habano too, to be honest, but it was better than this. I had to put this on the list. Got to be real with y'all. That's just the way it was. This cigar did not hit like it was supposed to, especially with another cigar on this list being so similar and doing so well. Number 17 is the Wise Man. Like, I love Tabernacle, but when they revamped this cigar, it just doesn't hit the way that it's supposed to. You guys know I did a buyer's guide on these cigars, and I absolutely loved them. And this one was just a major letdown. The branding is a letdown now. The cigar's a letdown. So I had to let this cigar down, way down on this list. Now we're going to get controversial. Number 16 is the Suma. And I know Michael Herklotz watches my content, and I got word that he wasn't really happy with this guy in Japan just, saying bad things about his cigars. Not a big fan of his cigars, but I did want to give the man a public apology about how I approached my opinions on his cigars. Now, I smoked the Suma. I smoked a lot of his cigars. I really tried to like them. The Suma, I'm not a fan of, but as you can see, there's a lot more people enjoying this cigar. So I hope that, kind of smooths things out. So some of my friends really enjoy this cigar. So I'm glad y'all like it a lot more than I do. Number 15 is the Wagashi. This is moving up on the list. I kind of understand what Steve Saka was doing with the cigar. Now, it's still not my favorite. I still want to keep trying it somewhere down the line. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It's moving up. Same thing goes for the Allegiance with EP Carrillo. I went back to the cigar. I enjoyed it a lot more. I gave him a public apology because when I first tried the cigar last year, it did not go well. And I tried it again. Much more appreciated. So, palates change, cigars evolve. It's better, right? Now we get really controversial. Let's get into it, yo. So number 13, La Camina, 10th anniversary. I wasn't digging this cigar. I tried. Gonna try it again down the line. You guys know some of my favorite people in the cigar industry really love this cigar, but for me, it just wasn't working. I've had a lot worse, as you can see from the rest of the list, but I had a lot better too. Number 12, sorry, Pete, the Aladino Cameroon. Y'all know I love Cameroon. I love Cameroon wrappers. But this cigar, for whatever reason, didn't hit the way everybody told me it was going to hit. I'll try it again. I promise I'll try it again, but it's not on the best list. Number 11, this is going to shake up the room. It's going to be chaos. The Isla Cocodrillo by Warp. The Crocodile. I tried the cigar. I really thought I was going to like the cigar. I wanted to like the cigar. Same thing with the La Camina. Just for whatever reason, my palate isn't going this way. Matt, I'm sorry, bro. Really, I'm sorry. All right, now let's get into the top 10. This is the top 10, I guess, for 2024. This is the way we're going to end this off, so let's get into it. Number 10 is the Mil Diaz Maduro. Early in the year, this cigar was fantastic. It's kind of falling off a little bit, so that's why it fell way down on the list. But it's still a really good cigar. But when it was hitting originally, it was such a great addition for Crown Heads. One of the best for the year. Number 9 is the Charisma by Sanj Patel. Sanj Patel made the list. Shouts out to Sanj with the Charisma because that sweetness that this cigar gives really stood out to me. And it's still memorable for this year. I love the sugar cane. It actually worked out. I don't think this is going to make a lot of people's list, but it did what it was supposed to for the kid. Number 8 is the Anthra from Sanj Patel, SP. That raspberry sweetness was phenomenal in this cigar. And to make a Lancero taste this good, you got to do some really good work. So shouts out to Sanj once again for making this such a good cigar. Number 7 is the Umbagog Bronzeback. This cigar is considered a bundle. And I know a lot of people were talking about this cigar, but it deserves it, especially to be a bundle cigar. I got to give it to Dunbar and Tobacco and the Trust, man. They did their thing with this cigar. It's a little hit and miss, but when it hits, that bad boy hits. Number 6 was a surprise for me. This was given to me by Sal. This was the LFD Oro. It was a chisel cigar. I didn't know I was going to like this cigar this much, but the experience that I had when I smoked the cigar was phenomenal. And I hope to get to smoke the cigar again somewhere down the line. This was a great, unique choice. So not going to be on a lot of people's list, but for my 2024, it was really good. Number 5 is the Orthodox. And this cigar was a major surprise to me. I didn't know I was going to like it as much as I did, but, you know, Black Label Trading Company has a hit on their hands with this cigar. Very unique as far as the look goes. It kind of fits with their whole vibe, but who cares about all that? The way the cigar smokes, it's out of this world, man. Should be on the top of the list. Number 4 is the Psalm Riojas. And I want to give a shout out to the Blanc as well. I think Cigar Alchemist was talking about these cigars too. I think Matt has some comments on this one as well. Anyways, but I do want to give a shout out to Psalm because this cigar hit me when I had it earlier this year. I think I was on Inno's podcast or something like that. I can't even remember. But when I did have it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I got a box of them in here. I'm not smoking many cigars, but I'm glad I got a ton of these for the future. Psalm did their thing, man. Number 3 is the Atabey Black. Atabey Black. Atabey Black. Number 3. It's an expensive cigar, but number 3. Number 2 is Definitions, Cameroon Noir. There aren't many cigars that I have that just get me excited just at the look of it and just at the thought of smoking that cigar. This is a cigar, like if I stop smoking cigars, I will go back and revisit this cigar somewhere down the line. And the number 1 cigar for me for 2024 and to end this channel is the Barber Amarita, Muestra de Saka, Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust. It's the best iteration of this Muestra de Saka. And it was really hard for me to figure out what the number 1 was going to be. But when I'm ending the show and I'm going through all the cigars that I had and just kind of talking details, I was like, yo, I really love this cigar. And I want to go out with a bang. And that's it. Anyway, you guys give me your opinion. You let me know what your favorites were. Let me know what favorites or contention you had with other people's lists. EKB is out for real this time. Thank you guys for watching the channel. Thank you guys for going out and getting the merch. I really appreciate the time that you guys took. I will be back on YouTube. I got some other ideas. I got some other ventures. I promise you will see me again. You will see me on Bandit. You will see me with the New Wave Cats. You will see me with Cigar Adventures. I will pop up here and there. I still love the culture. I still love the community. I still love smoking my best cigars. Just don't do it as often. But it was time for the Vintage Cigar to go. So for 5 years, you guys have supported me. You helped grow the channel. You actually helped me get on a list. Like I was like number 93 or 94 for top influencers. I never expected any of that to happen. It all means a lot to me. I'm grateful. I got to meet Steve Saka, my favorite blender. I've got to talk to John Huber, Matt Booth. I've made some great friends. I've gotten bombs. I've sent bombs. All of that has been more than I could have ever expected. For the final time, this has been my top 10. You guys tell me what your opinions are. And I'll see you in Japan or the United States and somewhere on YouTube. Keep smoking your best cigars. EKB is out.